there everyone, and welcome back to Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai with the total Fall of the Samurai mod. And today we're taking a look at some newly released factions. So just as I released the last video I did of this, which was the Battle of the Bulge, where we had the Americans against the Prussians, just as I released that, the mod creator hit me with another update which includes 3 new nations, one of which we're looking at right now, which is Spain, if you have somehow managed to miss all the Spanish flags and the fact that the soldiers are speaking Spanish. Then he has also added Portugal and Mexico, so it's a very Latin-specific update with a lot of those nations. Anyways, today we're taking a look at Spain, and I thought since we had the Americans defeat the Prussians last time around, let's see if a European power can defeat America this time around in the American-Spanish War. So let's see if our Spanish troops have what it takes to take on the Americans. And there it is, my Spanish army. So this battle is kind of inspired of the San Juan Hill battle on Cuba during the American-Spanish War. But obviously it's nowhere near because, well, we're in Japan. There's a lot more Spanish troops as I want to show off as many uniforms as possible. And yeah, that's why it's just going to be inspired by it. It's a hill with Spaniards on it, and they're Americans attacking. That's about how close we get to it. Anyways, so we've already looked at a lot of the light infantry, the cazadores, but maybe have a closer look at them right here. I think we'll actually go through that during the actual battle. We'll just take a look at some of these guys. Some Fusiliers right there. Colonial infantry look very suspiciously close, like the Spanish troops. Not the Spanish. Of course they would look like the Spanish troops. They are the Spanish troops. What I meant to say was the Mexican troops. And we got the guard. You probably didn't see them up front first. And also all of these have some uniforms. Just like every other nation, there's summer uniforms and winter uniforms, which splits the armies in terms of what you can recruit. No cavalry as of yet, but I don't think we're gonna need it. And with that said, let's go ahead and start this battle. So I got a pretty darn nice hill defending that I will be able to defend against the Americans, which we can see there on the other hill across there. We'll take the colonial line infantry and we'll place them over there. We'll take the 2 other Fusiliers and we'll place them there. Then Grenadiers, I think we'll place the Marines up front before the Grenadiers, and we'll have the Grenadiers as possible reserve, or if I can move the Grenadiers out on the hill there and have them kind of defend this side, make sure that the enemy does not try to cross us there. We have a smaller colonial field gun. It's a 6-pounder. Well, I think we're going to place it over here. Then we've got 2 12-pounders. Just gonna move up somewhere around here. Right now I'm noticing that the Americans are not really advancing on us. However, my mortars are firing against them. Oh, they have decided to almost put the cannons up on the top hill. I'm hoping that I remember to put the Americans on attack. Otherwise, well, it doesn't matter too much if I didn't. Oh. If I didn't, then we will go ahead and attack across. No big deal there. Damn, we're really pounding it in on this guy. I think, though, we'll try to focus in on some other cannons as well. See if I can pivot the mortars over there. Otherwise, I guess we'll target the troops over here. The idea was really that the mortars would cover the approach here. Right then, do I have... Yes, we do have range, so I can set up my cannons here and we'll be able to cover the valley. And it looks like right now the Americans are not really advancing, so I think we're gonna have to advance. So we'll send the Grenadiers over here. We'll move the Royal Guard up here. Now, no, actually, Izzy said that there is like music, specific music for the mod, which has been added in, which is not trademarked. I had a bit of a problem with the military march music that played, that actually was claimed, but that should be fixed now. The thing, though, with the music that you can actually turn on in the what's it called, the options, I don't think it's all that good, actually. The cannons are a bit all over the place. I think this one's safe to actually deploy. This one, not. It's gonna have to move that one forward. Since it looks like we're gonna have to actually attack the Americans, we might as well move this one forward. We'll start moving the light infantry forward, colonial infantry forward, and so forth. We'll tell this cannon to hold fire for now. This one will deploy as well. The 6-pounder will go forward. Oh, I can see the Americans are now moving. But we don't know what they're doing. They might just be reorganizing. Looks like they're actually deploying their artillery. You know what? Go back to blasting that. Since I was expecting the Americans to attack my hill, I gave them pretty bloody strong artillery. So they gave them these massive mortars. Or howitzers, I mean. Okay, we got howitzer shots coming our way now. What are they aiming for? The Royal Guard! Damn, the bastards. Not my Royal Guard, no! Right, the Royal Guard will retire. I have no interest in... Oh, shit. We lost a lot of Royal Guard there. Right, I might have given the Americans too good... Or a little bit too... good artillery pieces. Hopefully we're able to... I do have lots of mortars firing in on these guys. Oh, you know what? Looks like the Americans are advancing on us now. I have a lot less troops than the Americans, so we will actually go ahead and retire at this point. Up the hill. Spaniards! Back onto the hill! Some of the pieces might be good, but the thing is, the first one, as soon as I turn on the music that's part of the mod, as soon as I turn that on, the first piece that plays, it feels so out of place, because it's kind of more like, it sounds more like fantasy, like it's some sort of fantasy battle music, which is, it feels so out of place. I mean, it's a good piece, but it feels just so out of place, of like an 1900 or no 1800s sort of imperialist mod. So it feels so out of place, the first one. Damn, the Americans are blasting us. However, we do hold this area right here, so they'll have to come through. Right. Grenadiers out of the side there. I'm not that confident of victory right now, because those bloody artillery pieces. Right, and oh yeah, he's done quite a bit of stuff in his update. Like, for instance, if you go into first-person view, you can't spam the cannon shots anymore, as we saw in the Battle of the Bulge video. So I fire a shot, and then you can see that there's actually quite a hefty reload time now. So I can't just go into there, spam the canister to absolutely destroy anyone trying to approach the cannons. Looks like they're moving the cannons, which is good. That means that they're kind of weak, and I can target them. The cannons up here, I imagine, are dead at this point. Nice. Which means that my howitzers, my mortars, to be precise. Oh yeah, they are sending some troops over on this side. I'm not entirely sure if they're just sending them around this sort of hollowed out ground, or if they're actually going to try and flank up this side. Okay, you'll have to go far to get up here. But just in case, we'll have our grenadiers stationed up here. Maybe not have these two lines in front of the cannons. Cannons will hold fire. And then a little better specific deployment of the light troops. And you know what? Why don't we have them up here instead? And then we can move them forward in case the enemy comes closer. I wonder if they started to move the cannon forwards to try and get my my Royal Guard. So the Americans are now advancing forward. We can see the strength ratio here is quite heavily in favor of the Americans. Keep up the fire. You know what? If I target both the... Oh! We've got shots being fired. It's the Guard Light Infantry, the Guard Cazadors, which are opening fire on the Americans. Lots of explosions out there. They're trying to shoot down the cannons, which at this point looks like they're gonna try and deploy them? No? Whatever they are, we need to blast them to bits. I don't want those cannons left. Those bloody howitzers are really deadly. Cannon shots blasting through the American lines. You know what? They are actually trying to flank me on the right, and I thought these guys were trying to flank possibly on the left, but that does not seem like the case. But the Americans are definitely coming this way. So once they come within range, I think what we'll do is we'll just move over the grenadiers to this side, and when the Americans marching up through here, then suddenly up on the side there, grenadiers turn up and start to shoot them down. So the Americans have thrown their cannons right into us, and they are getting shot to pieces. The AI is clever that way. I wonder what they're doing. They're just doing a slow advance right into my fire at this point, which seems rather odd. Did I ever deploy these colonial? No, I didn't. The colonial gun needs to be set up here. I gave the Americans a lot more infantry just because it's gonna take them a bit to try and get up this hill. The grenadiers have opened fire as well. I wonder what kind of chance they have to hit the Americans from all the way up here to fire all the way down there. Oh, and now the ones that were here have disappeared. We can't see them anymore. I kind of get the feeling that these guys gonna be defeated before the others turn up, if they ever turn up. And also we can take a look at the American summer uniforms. This is the Montgomery Guards. I can tell that from a long ways off. So this is their elite unit that's they've sent to march up first through the battle. Then they're followed by normal line infantry, colonial line infantry over there, more colonial line infantry. It's kind of a lot of Americans lying dead all over the place, but not that many though, given that more or less the entire hill is opening fire upon them, or not really entirely. We're gonna have to push forward some extra troops here to stop the Americans. To have these guys move in. And then have the colonial infantry set up on either side of this cannon. And we'll have the grenadiers in support back here, ready to charge in if necessary. The guard unit close by, and the general. Okay, the Americans are coming way too close for my light infantry. So I want them to retreat up the hill as soon as possible. If they can. They've tangled a little bit with the Americans. Ooh, the Americans coming close here. I want canister to be fired now on the Americans. Oh, I don't think we're gonna be able to get away from the Americans here. Fight them! Or to you, at least to the best of your abilities. This unit was sent away, that's good. Oh, the Americans have been spotted here. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing though. We've at least sent one American unit away. But there's a lot more coming. Marching up the hill at a slow pace. The Montgomery Guards right in front of my cannon. Can I go ahead and... Ooh, can't really depress the gun. Boom. I was just about to fire when the Americans joined in the fray. If the Montgomery Guard is defeated, that's gonna take a heavy toll on the rest of the American army. Some American units have now stopped to open fire. I'm not entirely sure what they was thinking. Back onto the guns, and I want canister. I think I can take one of the cannons. Yes, we have canister. I want you to turn the cannon immediately. And we're gonna clean off some of the side air of the American line. Oh, I can't. Okay, there is the angle. God damn it. Right, we're gonna have to fire there. Oh no! The only thing I did was I broke down my own cannon. And that was not canister either. Give me canister! At least this unit of colonial line infantry is holding out for now. Come on, give me canister or give me death! I should really be firing over there. Boom! Still no canister though. It's just still a round shot. I want more canister over here. You know what? We don't want to lose the cannons. The grenadiers will countercharge. Spanish grenadiers to the front! Oof. Have a few canister shots go through the Americans before the grenadiers make their charge downhill. And into the American line! Now the officer went straight through it. Send the bastards off the hill. The Americans are running! Go through the next line! My men went way too far. They're all over the place. It's the other Montgomery Guard unit. Charge them! I think my cannon followed. Yeah. Back on your cannon. Oh, the Americans have been defeated. We are victorious. Victory is ours. Very nice. Not entirely sure why the Americans just marched onto us. I mean, they did... Ooh, damn. They were able to inflict quite a bit of damage on me due to the... Wait, where did the other Grenadier unit go? I'm pretty sure I sent down 2. Grenadier? No, that's... Wait, that's Fusilier. I had Fusilier stationed there? Oh yeah, I had Grenadiers on the hill. Where's the other Fusilier then? I guess they were defeated. We have something I can see running out here, but I'm not entirely sure. No, that's Cazadors. Oh, we have one unit running over here. Is that the Fusiliers? Oh, yes. They're coming back up the hill. I wonder where these guys went. I thought I had Grenadiers. That's kind of silly. Anyways, the Americans were defeated in trying to take this Spanish hill. Not entirely sure. Normally, I put it on very hard difficulty, and at some points I have been quite heavily cut down by the enemy, but I think it might be due to... I don't know why. I have had other difficult battles against the AI when I put it on heavy or the hardest difficulty, but it seems like it might be set for like traditional Shogun or something, because they usually just charge in, and at this point the Americans just walked slowly onto me. What I could do is probably maybe set it so the enemy is, for the next battle, they'll be defending and I'll be attacking. That will probably be a little bit harder. With that said, let's go ahead and check the statistics of this battle. And there we have it. The battle dragged on for 20 minutes. We deployed about 3,000 men while the Americans deployed 4,000 almost. They lost half that force, being able to inflict 462 casualties, where we lost 496. If we look at what units killed the most, then we see the cannons did a lot. Then the Marines managed to get 200 kills, only losing 6 men. The Fusiliers, the ones that charged downhill, got a lot. The one that actually managed to not retreat. We've got some Colonial Line Infantry doing quite a bit, but also the one that lost the most men, I believe, of my units. And I imagine this is the one that were in a bayonet fight. Could be this one. They kind of lost similar, so it's not that easy to tell. Worst amount of kills, I mean the Royal Guard wasn't used at all, so they obviously didn't get that much. One of the Cazadors didn't do too well either, lost a lot of men, didn't really inflict any damage. On the American side, we can see that the Montgomery Guards is the one that killed the most, and then we got States Infantry and Foot Rifles coming after that. Foot Rifles only losing 4 men and inflicting 48. The cannons did unusually well. The AI is pretty stupid with cannons, as we could see. They sent them straight forward. If they had continued bombarding from their hill positions, they could have inflicted a lot more damage on me. And we have a few units that didn't do anything. We got this Marine unit that didn't take part in the battle at all. And this Colonial Infantry only losing 11 before giving up. and running away. But with that said, this was the Spanish army. We're gonna look at the Portuguese and the Mexicans as well. Looks like there's gonna be a lot of fighting against the Americans. No, I think I can find a way around that, so it's just not against the US all the time. Portugal and so forth. A few units that we didn't see of the Spanish that I forgot to deploy is they've got a few native troops from their colonies. I can't remember if they have the Philippines and possibly another one, or maybe that was the. Anyways, there's featured native infantry, both by the Spanish have from Philippines. I know that, and then I think the Portuguese have from. I can't remember, but they also have native infantry. So yeah, with that said, oh yeah, I should say this as well. If you have any ideas of battles I could do for this, or any maps you would like to see, just go ahead and comment down below. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this battle, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!